The Soybean School on RealAgriculture.com is brought to you by Pride Seeds, High Stick NT, and Cruiser Max Vibrance Beans.
Bern Tobin for the Soybean School here near Clinton, Ontario, joined by Wayne Wheeler from Huron Commodities, agronomist. We're going to talk about soybean cyst nematodes, eh?
Yes, that back about 7 or 8 years ago we found out that we had high levels of cysts in the Goderich area, and at the levels that we had, they were quite high, so it's been here for quite some time, but everybody thinks it's a problem to the south, so nobody really recognizes that it's an issue in our area, and it shows up on sandy soils, and under drought conditions it just really has a huge impact upon yield. So
this year is a pretty dry year. I mean, like, talk about the impact that SCN can have, and you throw a little drought on top of it.
Basically what SCN is, it's a nematode, which is a microscopic worm, and it basically penetrates the plant, and it screws up the water flow within the plant. So you have that on a drought year, and you have that 1 + 1 = 5 scenario. If we had adequate rainfall, there'd still probably be an impact on yield, but not nearly as great as if it'd be a drought year.
Right.
So
now, you're talking to your clients and saying, hey guys, it's time to start get out there digging, looking for this. What should guys, are there areas of the field that they should be thinking of and looking at? Are there telltale signs?
In the south, like, there's some areas where the beans will completely be killed out or dead. Typically what we see up along the lake is like more sandier soil types, what we find it on. But yeah, that's basically where we look for it. And again, it seems like there's a zone north and south of Goderich here where it's quite bad, yes.
Now, you brought a shovel, you brought a bucket of water. We're going to do a little digging here right now, because Wayne's going to get down and find some cysts, and we're going to talk about potentially the level of cysts in this field.
Yeah, that probably assume that there's cyst here, that we know there's cyst. We've tested and we've found cysts on neighboring fields. So last week this field was way more yellow and looked worse than what it does today, but we had rain over the weekend, so the field looks 100% better than what it did a week ago. To check for cysts on the bean, you have to dig the roots up. So with your trusty shovel, dig up the plants and be careful not to cut or damage the roots. Gently pull the soil off the roots. And then rinse it off in water, just to get all the soil and stuff off the roots. And what we have here is, here's some roots that we dug a few minutes ago. And as the roots slowly dry off, what you'll see, if there are cyst eggs on the outside of the roots, it's almost like a light switch was turned on, and you see these tiny, teeny weeny white dots on the outside of roots. And again, not to be confused with the nodules. And if you're an older fellow like me, you might need a magnifying glass or a sight glass to look at them. But just as they're drying here now, you're starting to see lots of egg masses on the outside of the plant. But again, you usually have to wait about a minute or two for them to slowly dry off, and then they show up quite nicely.
So Wayne, after you're finished digging, you've found those egg masses as you've done. What should you do? Do we need to get a soil analysis then? Yeah, what really should happen, you should take a soil sample, send it away to a lab to determine how many eggs per 100 grams of soil that is there. It'll just tell you how bad of an infection that you have had. We've seen fields up along the lake here as high as 24,000 eggs per 100 grams of soil. And I believe once you get over 10,000, even planting a cyst-tolerant line, you still could have an impact upon yield. And I think at the lower levels on sandier ground, even at 1,000 eggs per 100 grams of soil on sandier ground, because again, you're more prone to drought, you could have yield loss at that. So what options are we looking at here now? I mean, tolerant varieties, seed treatments, what's?
Yeah, those are probably the best things. Rotate away from non-resistant soybeans. Edible beans are also a host for these, like white beans, cranberries, kidney beans, so you got to stay away from them as well. But yeah, if you're going back into beans, plant a variety that has cyst tolerance. There's a couple new seed treatments coming out from some companies that would give some added protection. Rye, if you're using rye as a cover crop or something like that, it is supposed to reduce cyst eggs in the soil as well too. So there is some management things that can be done, but if you have super high levels, like it'll take quite some time to bring them down again.
But the bottom line here is it's time to get out and dig, and especially because there's a significant yield impact here, and this has moved north, and here we are, right here in Huron County.
And the sooner that you find out there's a problem, the sooner you can change your management to address it. So yeah,
good stuff. Hey, thanks for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.